phone calls from random numbers so late. Alright. Jump right into the pick ban phase.
Absolutely no surprise on the first ban. Maybe a little bit surprising because of the side they're on, but Yibneth doesn't really get through. The Kali ban, that one is surprising. But there's the standard Ignis so far. No surprises on the left. Still a little surprised by the Kali on the right, but we'll see where they go with it.
I'm going to be counting on you for all of the technical...
Well, I will do my best. By no means an expert, but absolutely love the game, love the PVL. Super excited to be here doing this right now.
I'm glad that you're here. I have plenty of experience with MOBAs, but I have not had the time to actually sit down and play this one and learn all the hero names and all their abilities.
So, with the focus on mage bans coming out of red, ATF side, and finishing up, will it be the Crickneck? With the Crickneck, it's a little bit interesting. That wasn't as predicted, so a lot of things have slid through. Aurum is still out there. I know that Jerry loves to be shocked when that happens, so to speak. So that's one that's interesting. We've seen, actually, I believe the ATF playing this Joker last week as well, so that's a pick they're kind of familiar with, and Komodo on the Liliana again. The Slims pick up. With Lindis still available, it might be more reflective of where teams currently still feel. I've heard a lot of people saying that Lindis is now the go-to marksman in the jungle. My personal experience is a little bit limited, but Slims is still a strong pick. Flash, another pick that has seen a lot of success against us personally. So I know that I'm afraid of Flash on a very personal level. And there we've got the Chog and the Mina. So I'm still not used to the speed of the new pick phase. It's so fast, so fast.
Yeah. I try to pay attention to names during this phase because that's about the only time I catch them. And I think this game I know the DC characters and Chognar because Jerry loves
You have to know Chog.
You have to if you're in the PVL in any form or fashion.
Looking at this, I think the most surprising thing to me right now is Zill as the jungle pick from the ATF side. I have not seen Zill played since the patch personally. I don't remember anything really changing about him in the patch, and he wasn't a very popular pick prior to the patch in the matches that I played or the matches that I was watching. So I'll be really interested to watch how that plays out for them into the Slims on TeamPewPew's side. Overall, I am unable to honestly identify what they might be going for TeamPewPew. It looks relatively divey on the side of ATF, so that's going to be my guess as to how they'll try and engage and what they'll frame it as. But both of these teams I've played personally and respect quite a bit, so very excited to see how it plays out.
Looks like we're jumping in. Waiting on everyone to load up. You guys hear an echo? Let me make sure I don't have any other tabs open that have sound. I shouldn't. I'm not hearing anything in my headset, so I'm not sure. And yeah, sorry if you guys are experiencing any drops from the stream. The only settings that I changed my regular stream settings was just added a delay, so sorry. Didn't think to drop him down.
Welcome to Arena. Get ready.
Alright.
Minions will be deployed in 5
Okay,
seconds.
everybody seems to be moving with the exception of Arum, and there she goes.
To engage.
We've got 3 from TPP marching down mid, and a bit of more of a spread out of ATF. Gonna see the Mina pushing in, a little bit engaging with the Ari. Nothing real big happening. It doesn't seem like we're gonna see a huge invade out of either team, just a bit of a cautious beginning. Scud up top already, seemingly waiting. We'll see if anything comes of that real quick. Not too much there. Similarly, we've just begun laning in bot. Arum making the move, kind of scouting, pulling. Not going to be able to do a whole lot there in the enemy jungle, but with the team behind her, maybe that'll change. Ari and Scud still dancing around the Vision bird. I don't know what other teams call the bird, I just call it the bird. Still dancing. We got Slim starting up the Might Golem. Arum still trying to be an annoyance with the backing of Liliana, and a dive there from the... I can't even...
I've noticed in AOV there's a lot more of this than in any other of the slower paced, full size MOBA games like League or Dota.
Are you saying there's a lot more early skirmishing, or?
Yeah, especially just around in the jungle, and there's more poking done there. I feel like in the first 3 minutes of the game.
So that's absolutely something that holds true. It looks like Ari's having a rough time into this Scud so far up top. He's been able to create strong lane pressure, but down at bottom is really where things are heating up. We have 4 from each team dancing around. Zill and Liliana a little bit late coming in. Just poke so far, no serious engagements. Gotta keep checking up. There goes the Ari. So that was a very narrow win for the Scud, but a win for the Scud nonetheless. TeamPewPew with good positioning, watching the Arum and Joker start up this dragon, but Slim's nowhere near. Neither jungler super close by. I imagine this will end in a reset.
Yeah, looks like both teams back off.
And Arum again, just kind of tethering, resetting. Looks like they might be trying to take it with Joker Arum while pulling the attention elsewhere. But Chog does see, so I don't believe anyone in this particular altercation has punished, so the Chog could make a steal here. In the meantime, we have Scud Ari still dancing, and the dragon does fall, and he did in fact manage to steal that. Oh wow. Slim's there to back him up. Looks like Joker's going to fall. Oh, but that dive in. Oh, didn't matter because the rest of TeamPewPew shows up on the backside. Quick double kill on Slims, and TeamPewPew is off to a really strong start.
TPP looking really strong. 3-0
Looks like
right now.
Ari's struggling again. Had to use ult to get away from Scud. That ult might have turned it in the favor.
Ooh.
Yep, there it is. Alright, they're 1-1 in the top. Back at mid, we have a bit of an engage going on. Seems like more poke than anything else. Mina rotating, getting that vision. Back to mid. Slim's just clearing the little bit of jungle that's up. We'll see where they decide to try and apply pressure. ATF with good presence in mid. Arum scouting jungle. Not a whole lot. So, kind of while things are slow, if they stay slow, one thing that I've heard other people say is that same kind of MOBAs on the mobile need to be faster paced, where you don't have as much time early game and every second is even more meaningful. by
Right.
comparison. And it's because by nature the games are designed to go faster. It kind of looked like Scud was going to be in trouble there. A quick escape, some backup from Boss Badger there on the Mina. And now it might be the Ari that falls. I do believe that happened.
Ooh.
Yes, yes it did. Okay, so Zill also caught out by Boss Badger, who just seems to be everywhere on the map right now, and another quick kill to TeamPewPew.
Ultimate.
Lily having a tough time into Cheddar. Same level, but maybe the gold differential starting to show up a little bit. Again, I personally, when I'm playing Mage, never seem to know what to do into Flash. Don't particularly enjoy that matchup no matter who I am, so I feel that pain. TeamPewPew starting up the Dragon, good position, have way more members here, 4-3. Slim secures it, and that'll just serve to increase their gold lead, now up to 2.2k. And Ari with good pressure on the Scud, but Scud with a strong ult dodges the Shuriken. Looks like Scud's gonna just let be for now. Ari working on the bird. Has the jungler Zill in close vicinity, but Zill just kinda in a dangerous place right there. Only level 8, not exactly scaling up the way you hope to be as a jungle. And we're at a bit of an impasse, battling for position. Joker may be about to get a decent pressure, but Chog coming down to guard it. So I think that tower will escape unscathed. Back up to top we go, where we have, 4 and 4? With Slim sliding out with Liliana, more of a 3-on-3. And in that time, the Chognar did in fact fall to the Joker, so that's a nice play there by Late Frost. Kind of unfortunate when you get stuck kind of guarding the lane there. And I personally think that's a little bit of a bad matchup. I like where Joker's at right now, and this is the same Joker we watched kind of terrorize last week. So
I'll try to remember to hit
kinda
that
makes sense.
periodically, you guys.
we've got a good presence from TeamPewPew in the bot right now. Ari and Aram working on the Spirit Sentinel while Scud watches, just keeping eyes on him.
Looking to dive Joker.
It does look like they got a strong dive, but they're not going to be able to finish the job. It seems like maybe Gibber has lagged out. I expect maybe a pause here. Perhaps we should make a pause here. We'll see. We'll have to see if he starts moving after he respawns. There it is. Okay. That's unfortunate. I think that they were in a really good position to secure that kill, and sometimes you'll have that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. At first I thought he was just tanking the tower so that the other two could dive, and wasn't quite the case. Checking with him over on Discord.
Yep, never good when you have a disconnect. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Whether they resumed or the other team resumed, I guess we'll find out if it's another quick pause. But I hope this means everybody's back and we'll kind of continue the game. It's a missed play, it's a missed opportunity, and now we're going to see the ATF with a strong chance at this dragon, but once again, they're doing it without Zill, with Chognar there, so we'll see if they learned their lesson from last time or not. Scud in big trouble, though, with Zill and Ari. I believe he will fall. And back down to the dragon. Aram maybe just gonna wait, see, use the vision. Joker nearly falls in the meantime, and the dragon will reset. Ari doing a good job getting that wave before it gets to tower. That's going to be some strong pressure on the top tower coming off of that. Zill with a bit of an invade there, and Liliana taking a ton of damage from Flash. Badger trying to get away from Zill. Ari coming down. They'll probably get Badger, but what will it cost them? It cost at least the Ari. Possibly the Zill as well. Flash making a strong play, but Frost doing a little bit to help with that peel. And down here we've got Arum into Chognar. That's just kind of a slow play, not going to be a lot of development, I would imagine. 3 from the ATF in mid, kind of extending their wave and rotating down and through. Maybe thinking about making a play onto Chognar. Bit slow though, and Gibber going to be able to come over with Slims and meet up. Not a really strong engage, but maybe that was a nice kill. A nice slow, nice spear, nice kill. I did not expect a kill there, but if everything went as I expected, my team would probably be a bit better. Haha.
That was just an insane amount of damage in a short amount of time.
While we were fixated over there, though, top tower did fall for TeamPewPew. Zill there with Ari. They were able to push that tower in. And the cost of Liliana. Big fight around Dragon maybe again, or Pew Pew might just be able to secure it uncontested. Nope, ATF chooses to engage. Badger gets a good ult in, and that leads to quick death there on Zill. And ATF looking pretty low, but so too is Slims. Flash coming in with the ult though, that's a game changer under tower. Toothpick trying to get under and finish the Slims, successful. Takes a shot from the tower though, which means, yep, Flash able to clean it up. Bit of a messy fight, but I think that if you're TeamPewPew in this, you have to like how it ended up with the finishing of the team wipe right there. So, quite a bit happened just there, quite a bit.
Double kill.
That's going to lead to a quick tower take on bot, as well as some good pressure in mid. I don't know that they'll be able to take it. It kind of depends on what Zill chooses to do here. He could probably have slowed it down. No, not with Scud coming in. 2. That's probably the smart play. Zill lives to fight, and TeamPewPew with another really strong push there. Ari chunked super quickly. So too is Doc on the Chognar. Okay. Looks like we're just getting some rotations out of TeamPewPew, pushing up the waves. ATF definitely on the back foot. They still down, looks like 5k now, and they've taken all of the dragons, which means they snuck that one during the team fight. I didn't even notice the dragon fall. Ari into Chognar will take the Chognar narrowly by the skin of her teeth. Zill was there for the assist had Chog fall in. That's going to lead to a pretty sizable rotation up top and a bit of an awkward skirmish. Probably not a true engage, but Toothpick has to run as Badger is really trying. Slims in as well, and up the backside, Scud with the finish. And Zill looking a little worse for wear as well after that. Arum down alone here mid. Not really doing much to help right now. Just kind of, I guess, keeping vision. Joker chunked as well. Zill and Joker tagging for health. Arum alone in mid, but has the tower there. Scud possibly about to take top tower. I can't really see anything stopping him, especially with Badger there running interference on Viral. And it looks like I was wrong, Phil. So, good for Viral. Strong play there, clearing that wave and getting out. And the fight back in mid, we have all 5 members of ATF. They took a decent amount of damage just there. Don't really want to start a team fight that much lower than the opponent, though we also have some damage on Badger and Doc. Let's see how this engage takes place. Badger goes in, misses the pull there. Big spot of damage on Slims. That's going to really, I think, affect how well he's able to participate in the coming fight. A big play from Scud that ends up being quite suicidal. There goes Slims as well. Alright. This is a good opportunity for ATF to make something happen. They'll still kind of have to force it, but with 2 kills on 2 major damage dealers and a half health Cheddar on the run, this is going to at least be a tower, and we'll see if they can't turn it into more as well.
Blue team tower has been destroyed.
Tried to turn it into 2, possibly a little too aggressively there. That's going to lead to a falling Arum, I believe. Ooh, a narrow escape. She turned around and let the Chognar get the finish. Oh, that hesitation, that one moment of turning around. And in the meantime, Toothpick actually able to secure a top tower with the split push and get out. Still a little bit unfortunate there for the Arum. That was a bad decision, but the game is a lot more interesting now in terms of towers, but the gold lead still easily in TeamPewPew's favor. Looking at the builds, they don't quite have anyone at full build yet, but it's actually, I guess, a low gold game compared to some you would see. And we have 3 from PewPew waiting in mid, the engage from the flash, and absolutely melting Zill there. He never had a chance. Chog doing his best to just push up wave and top alone, and that allows the 4-on-4 engage here around mid. ATF just kind of trying to kite back safely, keep the wave pushed out, not let too much pressure get on him under tower. Chog reconnects with the rest of the team. We've got a 5-on-4 in terms of the positioning. And it doesn't look like a fight's going to come of it. Possibly this may lead to this Slayer, or at least a fight around Slayer. It's a dangerous take with so much going on right now. Looks like that's Census. And we're back to a relatively spread out matchup from both teams.
No, I don't know if turtling is as big a thing in AOV as other games. I know ATF's down a lot of gold.
So it can be. It definitely can be, but it also relies a little bit on the other team being hesitant or not being able to finish, because there comes a point where there's only so much you can do. You catch one person out and it all changes. You just watch Joker get completely obliterated. Liliana also potentially about to fall because Scud's not really going to let her go. And back to mid, we watch Toothpick fall on the Ahri, and there goes the Liliana. So it's hard to imagine that they don't get high ground tower off of this, even with Arum sitting there. It's going to kind of depend on how well they can zone out this Zill. They get in. Looks like the tower will fall. They started damaging an enemy hero instead, but it worked out. They did get the high ground tower. That was way more costly than it probably should have been with Doc falling, but Badger also quite low. It works out though. Slims was able to survive. He used his revive item there, then immediately sold it off to buy the other revive item. That's a pretty popular strategy, because while it will be on cooldown even while you do not own it, that allowed him to kind of take that death and still be alive to start up the Slayer here, as ATF is tentatively pushing out along top. They're still down a jungler, so contesting would be very difficult for them at this particular moment.
Yeah,
and Slayer's just going to fall.
Not much they can do in their current position.
So with that buff, they've got the health regen and the ability to summon the Drake. Looks like the Drake's on Badger. ATF kind of pushing back there, checking the bush. Nothing really yet. Zill into Chognar. The rest of the team comes in, and Viral is blown up again. But the tower proves to be Viral's best friend, taking out the Scud.
Barely escapes.
That was good. That was very good for ATF, and possibly a little bit of impatience on the part of TeamPewPew. Slim's super low right now, not going to be able to do a whole lot. TeamPewPew actually low across the board, not really focused on a target, kind of all over the place, and ATF makes him pay. That was a pretty sloppy engage, and maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, possibly underestimating. A good bush check there. Slims is just not really able to engage with Doc right now. They're just going to kind of kite back. Mina may fall here.
Almost caught in 3.
Yep, there she goes. This is a good play by ATF. We're getting to the point where the gold lead isn't necessarily as important as everyone starts to finish their builds, and the counterplay with 3 down, 2 down. They're going to get high ground out of this if they remember to focus tower, which again started hitting enemies instead of the tower and cost Aram her life. That's both sides have done that now. There goes Toothpick. It's almost throws and counter throws at this point.
Neither team wants to finish. Both teams want high kill death.
That's probably gonna be... Where's the wave? They've got a little bit of a wave coming. One of the super minions here in mid. They could potentially push in and take a fight there. They've got plenty of damage to do it, but instead they're gonna push in with the top wave. And that's gonna give ATF a little bit more time. Zill's probably gonna make it back. Scud goes in, finishes the tower more or less. And a good spear there on Joker, but nothing to follow it up. And a pause from red team with an immediate resume. Not sure what that's all about, but here we go. So, Toothpick back up on Irie. Now back to 5 on 5. Looks like they're going to try and take the enraged Abyssal Dragon. I believe they still have the debuff. I'm not sure how to check that as a spectator, but this could lead to a pretty big engage here. Scud not there for Pew Pew, Irie not there, Liliana not there. And they just kind of watch as it falls. Not really an attempt at taking it. There's the Dark Blessing buff up on Slims. I believe he has 2 revives at the moment. And that's the team fighting buff, so if they can get any kind of engage that they want, it should be the game, you would think. But Doc gets caught out by Arm, gets away, has way too much health. But there, Viral comes up the backside. There's the revive. He's still in it, but still quite low after that. So Doc not sitting in the best place, but we do have all 5 members grouped up. They push in, they get chunked. They do take the last high ground tower, but it does cost them. Once again, Scud is dead. He is very much a glass cannon at this point. Toothpick falls to Cheddar. And what will come of this? It looks like they did manage to get the kill there onto Zill. And Badger looks like he's going to be able to get away with Mina. Just a kind of another really messy engage, though.
Yeah, I think they sacrificed a little too much for that last tower when... Sure, it's nice to have, but I feel like at this point in the game, it wasn't really a necessary push in that bot lane.
It might come off as a little bit safer. There's a lot more going in your favor now in each lane, and Slow and Steady could potentially win the race, but it's gonna kind of come down to the next engage. Still, we're at a point in the game where even if you're in a commanding position, if you lose the team fight, it's probably over. Able to apply pressure, pushing in each wave. By the way, thank you, Dryer. I didn't read that in a timely manner, but Good to know. Alright. You expect a fight to come as these waves start rolling in. It's gonna be kind of a question of who comes out on top of it. Cheddar chunked real low, so too is pretty much everyone. There's not anyone who's really looking healthy right now. ATF comes out and cleans up, but in the meantime, Scud almost comes through for the win, does not quite make it, dies twice quickly. If he had had just one teammate helping, this game would be over. Instead, ATF gonna have a chance to push out, counter push. You've got 30 seconds on the next revive. Doc alone probably not gonna be able to stop a push if they can just get one wave going. Mid being their best bet, I assume.
That last fight looked like a lack of focus from TeamPewPew, and ATF really held it together.
So Arum should really go under tower here so they can take this high ground tower before the minions get there. That is what happened. The tower goes down, Doc goes down. Now it's a race against time. Can they stop Gibber from stopping them? And with the low health and no real engage, it looks like they survived. And we return to that same basic premise of the next team fight winner realistically wins. Could see some maybe just going in without a wave from PewPew. They have enough damage, I think, that they could pull it off if they could get in with Scud, and the tower is still that low. Somebody to tank it for them, but I don't think ATF should let that happen.
They're gonna pick up Dark Slayer real quick.
We have Frost just kind of standing still back here, waiting for everyone to grow back up. Yeah, so you gotta feel that one way or the other, this game is about to come to a close. It's been a long one. We're at 26 minutes now. I still say that throws and counter throws might be really what we've seen. I don't necessarily feel like it was a great defensive effort on either part, just a little bit of lack of situational awareness on the pushing to end. We're guilty of that all the time, so I get told that quite often, so I start to recognize it. Haha. And there goes Arum. TeamPewPew finishes.
And that's the first game of the night.
Definitely exciting to watch. Very back and forth, quite a bit of seesaw, but from start to finish, they got an early 5,000 gold lead, more or less, on TeamPewPew, and they maintained it. So, that maybe not the difference there at the end game. At the end game, it was all about who could get the engage, but early to mid game, TeamPewPew pretty much controlled it, and then it became the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Pretty fun watch. Kind
Very-
of looking at the details. Really well spread on the damage. Pretty well spread on the tanking between the Mina and the Chognar. Looking at ATF. A little bit disconcerting, I guess, when your jungle is that lacking in presence. Not really in the team fights from a participation standpoint. Not really doing a lot of damage. One good split push that I can recall, but the Zill was something that I mentioned at the beginning as not really sure how it was going to work out, and maybe a different jungler could have really changed how some of those engages went, or given them the opportunity. But well, you never know. Second guessing is what it is. A very entertaining game to watch, though. Very entertaining.
It went a lot differently than I was expecting, given the first 8 minutes of the match.
It felt like a game that could end, early. It could have been one of those, 10 to 12 minute games the way TeamPewPew came out, but some tentativeness, some lack of focus. They gave ATF chances, and they did a good job. They just couldn't quite pull the trigger there at the end. They couldn't stop Scud from getting in. He's a huge target destroyer, so. but it was really fun.
Definitely, and great job, by the way. I liked just having to follow the map, and you took care of the rest. I'm sorry that I'm not very well at bouncing things off of, since I'm not entirely sure who's doing what at all
Welcome
times.
to the business.
But you did a great job. And I just sent you the lobby code for the next match.
Alright, I'll go ahead and jump in.
Alright, Drycat, thanks for hanging around. Have a great rest of your night. Wolfhauser, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the business. Again, this is the PVL. For those of you that don't know, it's the Premier Valley League. It's a league started by one of your own, Jury. Our main hangout is the Discord. And I should have made a command that has the PVL Discord invite link. Let me put it in chat real fast. For those of you that are hanging around in chat, haven't been through the Discord or to the website, I highly recommend that you check it out. This link expires in a day, but that's alright. That is the PVL Discord.
Welcome to the business.
Serpent's Tail, hey buddy. Thanks for coming by. Let me check the chat here. 420 Kremlin, welcome to the business. Thanks for the follow. Looks like we're waiting on one more for ATF. Go back to my chat. Yeah, they're saying that there's a bit of an echo.
I only got to listen in briefly, but you definitely did have a sound that almost could have seemed intentional if you didn't know any better. But it's like a slight mirroring. It is very much. It's super consistent too. There's not any.
I just reset all my audio inputs, so hopefully that fixes everything.
Zill in the other match as well. Interesting. It's the night of Zill, apparently. Alright, here we go.
Jumping into the pick ban phase.
So it'll be interesting for me personally. I wonder what ATF is going to do with their bans. I was a little bit confused by their Game 1 bans. So maybe these will be a little bit more traditional. It was also odd to see
like God,
TPP banning out some of the traditional first pick and not forcing ATF to make those bans. So we'll see how it goes. We're 3 seconds left on this first ban, and they slide in. They missed the ban. Ooh. They missed it. That's the worst feeling. Unfortunately, we know that one as well.
Now, does Arena of Valor wait for everyone to load into the lobby before it starts doing this countdown and everything? Is that, or could
not
that
at all.
cause someone to miss? Okay.
You could easily miss a ban by not being loaded in, or if your app crashes. On the other side, we're seeing it's a lot more regular to see the Yebneth and the Kriknak banned out on red side. Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to ban out the Ignis, because I expect the Ignis ban to come in here right now from red side. Maybe they'll prioritize something like a Valheim instead, but Ignis is just in a place right now where if you're not going to first pick him, you've almost got to ban him. So that kind of came through as expected. With only 2 bans, I don't know what ATF has been seeing in scrims that Jannar and Kali are so scary to them, but those are the exact same bans, barring the missed ban.
Right.
So looks like we're going to see... I'm going to guess Toothpick again on the Lindis. And there's the first crushed pick of our night. Pretty popular pick right now. I've seen him as both roam and lane. And Liliana. So Liliana has now swapped sides.
I don't know what it is about Crushed, but I really love his entire character. And I've probably played a total of 5 hours of this game. The 4.5 of those probably being on Valheim, because it was what I played in the training.
ATF kinda breaking completely from the meta. Natalia is a pick that I personally love, but not not really a mage that you think of as top tier at the moment, and Astrid is you don't see Astrid really, so that'll be one to watch. On the other side, we are going to have a jungle Slims, and it looks like they're running the Scud again. Still not completely sure whether we're seeing Lane or Roam on Crest. I'm going to guess Lane, but he would presumably be laning into the Maylock just picked up by ATF, which is not necessarily a favorable early game matchup, though with the way that these higher level games take place, it's not as big a deal. The one-on-one doesn't last as long.
Okay.
Locking in the Pura there, that's gonna confirm that we're gonna have an Abyssal Crest, I assume. Well, I would assume an Abyssal Crest with Doc now on the Scud. So they've actually switched up who the Scud is.
Okay, interesting.
The Scud was, I believe, on Tornaga last game. Because Doc was definitely running the Chog, so that's a little bit of a flip. I somewhat expected the same. Over on the side of ATF, I misguessed. It's actually going to be Viral keeping the Lindis. No surprise on the running of Natalia on Komodo there. And Vaderung running Roam with Toothpick on the Maylock. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess Maylock in the Abyssal lane and Astrid in the Slayer lane, but Astrid existing has already got me confused, so...
Be an interesting beginning of the match. We'll see if ATF tries to step up and not lose the early game.
The lack of invade from either team in the last game was surprising. I know that when we played them, TPP was not afraid to invade on us, so I was expecting more of an invade, and ATF invaded on us as well, so maybe it was a sign of the mutual respect they have, or that they were both going with a slow burn from the beginning, but I do expect more fireworks in the beginning of the game than we saw in the last. We'll see. We will see. There are some interesting level 1s here. Crest, not a very strong level 1 comparatively, so maybe not so much on the side of TPP. It was Kintex. Good call. Good call.
And
that might be the first time.
Sammy Ravs, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the business.
I didn't actually notice that, so can't really. I'd like to be like, I'm not in any way, shape, or form inhibited, but maybe blaming inhibition of some kind. Inhibition. The word that I actually mean, inebriation of some kind, would be better. So, we do have the Crest slowly taking blue alone. So that's going to be interesting to see if they catch that, or if he's able to take that slow take. And there's the help. So they are going to manage to come in and steal blue. So that's really nice. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of counter invade coming from the ATF. So they're down 1 buff already. And still a bit of a slow start. Dock into Frost. Frost doing a good job early. Maybe gonna show the world what Astrid can really do. Up top, Maylock pushed in pretty well. Crest looking kind of low. That's going to give Maylock a little more freedom. And just not a whole lot happening yet. Scud re-engaging on the Astrid. Astrid shield coming into play. Doc taking a bit of damage and getting pushed right back under his tower. And there's Viral with a little bit of support. It looks like ATF has the stronger position around the dragon right now. You've got a little bit of damage on the Pura. That's not as meaningful because Pura can heal, obviously. And the Slim is at full health. A good spear there, but it lands on Frost. Frost not going to be able to get away. Maybe will. Looks like did in
Just
fact
barely.
escape.
Them losing
And
vision in that bush really helped him out.
not getting the kill there is fine because it's still enough pressure that I can't imagine they're going to be able to collapse on this dragon. Should be a quick take to TeamPewPew. Natalia doing a little bit there from the left, but it's not going to stop the take. Okay.
First blood.
And over in the red side jungle, Maylock got taken out by Crushed just now.
So it's TeamPewPew securing first drag and first blood. See the team shifting towards the top half of the map here.
Yep, that's kind of a response on the side of ATF to Maylock falling. You kind of rotate over, cover a bit, and TeamPewPew maybe recognizing a chance to create pressure, but it ended in kind of a light skirmish. Might be the death of Mina here. Still running, not a lot to run to, but TeamPewPew not knowing that desists the chase. Maylock into Crushed once again. Looks like Crushed got the worst of that one. And Scud still not necessarily winning into Astrid, but roaming a little bit, cleared Wave. Wave is hitting, so Astrid's going to have a chance to push it in. Maybe get a split push going as Scud collapses onto mid. Gets pretty good damage, gets a quick kill on Lindis, and does in fact die as well. Alright. Moto makes it out with just a sliver of health, and Astrid is seemingly going to get this tower. In the meantime, while I was over there, it looks like Lily just got a quick kill on Maylock,
Been destroyed.
and the tower did fall. Pyrrha made an attempt, but there wasn't really anything that you could do at that point. It was a good engage by the Scud to get a kill, but it did cost the tower in terms of how that all played out. Lily trying to check the bush, but Astrid just not caring about that little bit of damage, still dives out, gets good damage on. Viral having to back off with Lindis, and Komodo with an ult just kind of to zone. Oh, a really good 1-2 onto Doc there. Scud chunked heavily. And big fight in mid. Mina locks down Cheddar. Cheddar gets out with the... Is that the 1? Is that the 1 when you're in Fox form? I'm not a Lily player.
You would know better than I. I was gonna guess it was their ult, but I guess there's a lot more mobility abilities in this game than most, because that does make it a faster paced play.
Scud recalling as Wave pushes up in bot. And yeah, Slim's doing really well in terms of the farm, despite being down a kill, but does have the assist.
TeamPewPew shifts down to the drag again.
Yep, and they've got, looks to be 4 on it, and just maybe
quick
Astrid knows, but nothing, not contested. Maylock chasing Scud, just kind of dancing around, nothing really going to come of it. Slims meets up with him. They push in mid tower. Will it fall here? I don't think so. Komodo makes a strong play. They don't have any really physical damage dealers. Toothpick is possibly going to fall, makes it out. Pops the restore from the looks of it. Doc gets melted by Natalia. Scud goes down. This could be a good fight for ATF, but they just kind of get kited back. 3 of them take a decent amount of damage in the same exchange. And Wave shifts, pushes in. They'll probably back off, back up top. Toothpick probably about to die. There it goes. I can't imagine that... Okay, I need to imagine better. That was an amazing one. I thought for sure he would die there. That was really nice. That's all I can say about that.
Well played, well timed.
And that leads to another tower take. Pyrrha once again just there too late, and honestly, Pyrrha's not necessarily going to save a tower. Maybe, but you don't want that to be left up to your roam. Linda's dead again. The Astrid ult comes in, but doesn't really accomplish much. Pretty solid gold lead still on the back of the dragons and the kill lead, but another one of those games where it's seeming like it could be a roller coaster. This is game 2. Game 2. First game went to Team PewPew. Maylok clearing wave, positioning for a fight in mid. Gonna take the tower off of this for sure, and there's not the kill. Mina barely alive. It cost Natalia her life, and they'll back off. Scud, Astrid. Scud having a really difficult time into that Astrid.
Someone's gonna grab that sentinel.
Yep, he grabs the Sentinel. Maylok comes in, tries to kind of contest. The true last time I thought it was over, it wasn't. We'll see. This time they do secure the kill on the Maylok.
You just can't quite 1v2.
Not quite, but it was close.
It was an impressive amount of damage.
Let's see. Slim's finishing his 3rd item just now. Lindis not quite finished with 3 items. Looks like a 200 gold advantage or so in the favor of Slims, and a team-wide advantage of roughly 2,500. Just pushing waves. We got a 2-on-2 up at top, but it's mostly just a wave push. As red rotates out, they have good positioning top and bottom, could have potentially engaged there, but Lindis and Astrid are able to sneak a dragon in the meantime, so that's going to help to close that gold gap. Astrid making a push on bot tower alone again. Looks like Scud's going to get there in time to at least chase her away this time rather than just letting the tower fall. And then we're gearing up for a pretty decent fight in mid. Vader Rung goes in. There's the Crest ult. Tries to push somebody back. Fails. More or less a wasted ult in that scenario. Maylok coming down. Oh, absolutely. Astrid backing out. Pretty tanky. Probably won't die. Re-engaging on the Liliana. Not enough damage. Maylok dives in. 1-on-4 at the moment. The rest of the team finally gets in to back him up. There comes Astrid. Re-engaging with the 2, which does the armor pierce, which could... Scud gets the kill on Natalia. There goes Pura. Toothpick the next to fall on Maylok. TeamPewPew comes out of that, I believe, 1-4.
Double kill.
2-4.
Double kill.
Alright, Scud pushing in. With the way Scud can demolish towers, I have to imagine the bot tower will fall. Slim's clearing wave up top. Liliana just trying to not let mid fall as well. Mina comes in, and once again we see them peel off and kind of not... The minions finished it, but I didn't get over to there in time to see. Did he attack that Mina? Is that what I saw happen there?
Does he have an AoE attack? Because
that could be what happened.
that might have been what happened.
I didn't get over there quite in time, so all I saw was that the tower had begun to target him. So, and top really under heavy pressure with Pura and Slims. Not going to be able to save it. Maylok just has to keep retreating. And in the meantime, kind of a fight going on in mid. Using the ult to try and secure blue from Komodo there. Crush comes in with the ult, pushing him back. Doc comes up the backside, blows up the Natalia, pushes the others back in, and it's a complete death lake, river, whatever you want to call Crush's ult. Just melted him.
TeamPewPew is just moving as a unit and focusing so well.
There, another mid tower falls. Possibly the high ground as well. Oh, he catches him. Maylok goes down. So too goes the high ground tower. Scud coming in. They are definitely not repeating the passiveness that allowed the ATF back into the last game. This is possibly top tower about to fall. Can't see anything stopping it. Too many minions in. Cheddar gonna get out. Not really able to do anything there, even though Astrid made it in time. Slayer falls while that's happening, and Pew Pew marching.
Yeah, Pew Pew is not looking for another.
ATF spread out all
match.
over. Lindis out alone, which is gonna kind of cause problems, I think, because Pew Pew is marching down mid. Lindis trying to recall back. Does Scud get there in time? Scud does not get there in time to stop the recall, which gives the 4-on-5 now to the side of ATF. They've got the Drake. The Drake probably just gonna get melted. Not really gonna be very effective right there. And nothing too serious comes of it, other than they were able to stop the split push off of Lindis. And got wave coming in pretty hot up on top. That high ground tower is going to be the next point of contention. Komodo chunked seriously hard, can't really do anything in the fight. We're once again fighting rather than focusing the tower under a high ground tower, and that leads to a decent engage out of Maylock. Maylock gets melted though, as there is no follow-up from the rest of ATF.
Just left him to die in that one.
And we've got Scud taking red currently, while we have just a poke war as minions once again come in under tower. This time they will take the high ground tower, and maybe not. Once again, there it goes, but it cost a life this time. Cheddar goes down. They started to fight rather than finish the tower. Maybe won't matter though, as Crush comes in, they clean up, Scud finishes, and that's going to be the game.
A much faster match this time around. TeamPewPew again taking the victory.
Absolutely.
Much more decisive that time around.
There was very little hesitation. A couple of times where it still felt like they kind of started team fighting a little bit too soon under tower, but it didn't end up mattering. So they've got to feel good about whatever adjustments they made, that they were able to come in and turn a 28-minute match into a 14-minute match.
Definitely. Gonna go ahead and show the details here for a second before we switch off the screen.
So looking at it, it's another story of their jungler. Lindis was basically a non-factor, almost a negative for their team, and that's mostly due to how well she was targeted down. 5 deaths, a lot of those deaths coming early, didn't really get up to speed, wasn't able to stand behind the team and fight. Some really good engages I felt out of Toothpick. Toothpick played really well, but the team wasn't always there to back him up. Komodo on the Natalia, that was always going to be kind of tricky because they had a lot of mobility, a lot of engage, and Natalia is just, it needs a really strong team in front, and maybe Mina could have been that, but that didn't quite work out for him, and the result is a pretty one-sided win for TeamPewPew, but another entertaining match.
Definitely, very fun. Very fun to watch.
Pretty good. Some real surprises there. I'm easily surprised, and I get things wrong, and it's really, really fun for me to be like, oh wow, that really happened, wow. So, yeah, looking at it, they had almost a protect the carry comp, but the carry couldn't carry, so they didn't really have the ability to win team fights even with the good engages. Yeah, that's the size of it. That's what I see. Those
I trust your judgment.
Those in the stream chat seem to be doing a pretty good job with the analysis as well, so they're